So this is Studio 2, where we did main drum tracking, main left and right guitar tracking, scratch bass on the floor, and just a little tiny bit of third guitar tracks, just like whatever we could catch while we were doing main left and right tracks with Mick and I. And so many like epic records have been done here. I mean, Van Halen, The Doors. I mean, they have the echo chamber, you know, that's on all the Doors records, and the Eddie Van Halen guitar sound and all that stuff is in Studio 1, which we can't get into, which would be awesome to show you that, but maybe some other time. I mean, it was really hard. You can see there's not a lot of room behind this board, but we were like stacked in. We had amps. We had a big rack over by where Tim is, just to the ceiling with amps on it, and this was all guitars and amps. This is main tracking room. Come on in. We had the floor bass was set up in that little room. And this ISO room is where Mick and I had our guitar cabinet set up. And then we basically sat around here. Drum set was set up here. You know, and we had like all of our Slipknot shit hanging from the walls and some clown artwork and sculptures hanging up. And I sat right there. And when Corey was in here singing, he would sing in the piano room. And this was where the drums for the new Slipknot record were done. I mean, this is kind of it. It's simple, man. Less is more with this place. Let's go check out Studio 3. Gordon was in charge of Studio 3 while Fiddleman was over here working, and we were kind of bouncing back and forth. But this is where like all the really arty, kind of creative, just let's see what can happen kind of shit would take place. Clown took over this room and basically had it full of all of his stuff. Bent circuitry, you know, speaking spells that are all manipulated to make weird noises and crazy shit, and you know, Moogs and just really cool fun toys, you know. Here's a control room. Sort of a kind of a custom made desk, like a custom made API kind of but it's not like a full-on API desk. It's kind of weird. Very cool desk nonetheless. There again, we had this place just stacked, fucking guitars everywhere and amps and everything, and all our gear was set up in here for rehearsal. So we had like our live racks, Mick and I's A-rigs set up in there. Old vibey cool thing, you know. We were kind of set up like this, Sid there, Craig over here, drums here. Didn't really write as a full band per se in here. Most of the writing was done in the control room, just like with stems, you know, starting the stem of an idea and then layering and building and layering, you know, and then Jay would come out and play drums. This studio's cool. You got like 3 or 4 different studios. You have all the Pro Tools suites kind of along this back wall here, but all the artists kind of intermingle in the common area where the basketball court is. So you might run into Ryan Adams, or Alanis Morissette was here the other day walking around with a little baby, and I'm trying to like hide from her with my cigarette, you know. And then I don't know if you can imagine, but we have a shitload of fucking gear. I mean, and this place, and it was all here. Like all my guitars from Iowa, I had shot like 30 guitars here. So this place was just, like you could barely walk through here. There were racks stacked up in here, effects pedals and guitars stacked all the way down in there. That's just another little kind of ISO room. You know, this was all our gear. I wonder if it's still here. It is. Why this is not hanging up, I have no idea. But this thing has probably been here since 1979, October. Hang that shit up. So that's it. Sunset Sound. Yo.